Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to Flawless Dreams Radio with your girl, Lily. Please be sure to follow me on all social media. You can follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, under Lily the Goddess, Leelee, one word, L's are capital, space DA, space GODDESS, Lily the Goddess, on all social media, whether that's YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. There you go. Today, I want to welcome a special guest. Her name is Lizzie Smith. And if you yourself would like to be a guest on the show, you can email me at flawlessdreamsradio@gmail.com. So without further ado, let's welcome Miss Lizzie to the show.
Hi, Lily.
Hello, Miss Lizzie. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I have my chocolate milk. I want everybody to take a look. Look. See?
I love it. I love it.
It is my chocolate milk.
Mm-hmm.
Kitty cat cup.
I like that
Kitty cat
cup. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing better than me. I just got fancy bottled water and you can't really see it. So there you go.
I know. It's like it's transparent. Can't see it.
It is. Uh-huh.
So how is your week? How is your week going?
My week has been pretty good, thank you. Trying to stay busy.
Yeah. Gotta stay busy. Gotta stay busy. Thank you again, everybody, for joining the show. Again, if you want to be a sponsor or a guest, email flawlessdreams@gmail.com. So, Lizzie, where can everybody find some of your work?
Well, you can go to Facebook, The Shrew 2020. I do comic books, which is called The Shrew. So, The Shrew 2020. You can purchase the books there or message me through there. And I literally autograph the books to whoever you want to autograph to, and I mail them out personally.
Cool. Can you give me a little information about the comic book that was created that you wrote called The Shrew?
Yes. So the shrew is technically my alter ego. It's about a little person who's tired of being seeing the crime go down in the city, and she decides to take everything on herself. And I've actually have trailers of the shrew on the Shrew 2020 on Facebook if you look.
Oh, that's so good. I love it. I hope that everybody is tuning in, and be sure to check out this video on my Flawless Dreams YouTube channel. You'll see that the title is Let's Talk About Lizzie. So let's continue to talk about Miss Lizzie.
Yes.
As a writer,
Yes.
do you ever find that you have writer's block often, or once in a while?
Um, I, I find that I have writer's block, but what I do personally is I do 3 books at one time. So I rotate what I do. So I try not to have writer's block. I move from one book to another.
Right.
And some of my material is already on Amazon, Amazon.com, under Lizzie Martinez.
Which materials?
You can find the short audition, which is my first comic book I ever did. And it's a satirical look at what it's like truly for a little person to try to get into the entertainment business, because a lot of people say, oh, it's so easy for little people to get into the entertainment business. Now I'm 3'7". It's not easy. I've had agents drop me because they said I wasn't bringing them work. Well, you can't audition for something that's for a 5'4" redhead, and I'm 3'7". So I
Right.
said, the agent said think outside the box, so I did. I wrote my own satirical of the what it's actually like to work in the entertainment business, and I made it fun. And I've used everything that I've ever heard over my years since I was 11 years old on in the book. I have.
Okay.
I've heard, huh?
Now you have some background interference. It sounds like my voice in the background.
Okay. I don't hear anything.
I don't know if you made it go away. Nope, I'm still there. Oh well, maybe it's speakers or something.
I, I,
What have you? Well, that's okay.
okay.
Well, as see now, my next question would have to be you write poetry,
Yes.
you've written comics,
Yes.
you've written novels.
Yes.
Have you had a chance to write a screenplay for a short film, feature film, or you haven't touched it yet?
I've actually written a couple scripts. I was a script writer for a director, Daniel Ingraham, but he passed away a couple years ago. And but he gave me an opportunity to do script writing for him for his production company. In the meantime, I've written my own scripts. And technically, the short audition was supposed to be a script to begin with, and I turned it into a comic book first. So,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
the Shrew was going to be a short film that I wanted to submit to the film festival, but I turned it into a script. I mean, a comic book first.
Oh, I love that. I love that. I can't wait to see. I can actually imagine what that comic book would look like as a feature film with real life people. So, have you? Is there any other material for the Shrew that you've written that people can see, like videos?
Yeah, there's different videos on on Facebook, the Shrew 2020. If you go there, there's several videos. We try to
Awesome.
make it kind of fun for the person to get the next book.
Awesome. That's so good. I'm so glad that you are so active as a writer. I don't think that writers get a lot of credit for being writers, whether that's a poet, a screenwriter, a novelist. And how many novels altogether have you written? Not poetry, but
Well,
well, I want to know how much poetry you've written, but I also want to know how much novels you've written.
I finished one novel called Beautifully Unkept Girl, and it's fiction, nonfiction. I'm working, that book's finished, so I'm working on the second novel, the second half of the book. It's called Beautifully Twisted. And reader
Ooh.
discretion advised on all my material, except the comic books.
Ooh.
Yes.
And let's see, if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna go on a search, a little hunt here. All right. Is it true that you can also sign, like signature, put your signature on books for people?
Yes, that is true.
So beautifully, which came first? Was it and that beautifully unkept girl is your novel, right?
Yes,
Your first one, which looks like this.
exactly.
Very beautiful, beautiful cover. I love the material of the paper.
And thank you for your
It is
support, Lily.
it's erotic romance for mature audience members only. So, if anybody is interested in purchasing a copy of Lizzie Smith's first novel, Beautifully Unkept Girl, you can purchase it on Amazon.com. Please keep in mind readers' discretion advised. This is for us, grown folk. And what I really like is that you took the time to sign mine.
Of course.
Yes, I love that I have your signature. I love that you care about the people who support your work. It's not often that you have people who support your work and they're really serious about supporting what you do. Um, I love the interior, the table of contents, chapter one. Chapter one is looks like it is something again you all have to purchase it. I can't really get anything away. That's not fair. So the other books that you have written, they're poetry.
Yes, yes, they are.
And that's three. So you have three books of poetry.
Yes.
Your first one was which one?
Bittersweet Symphony.
Blinded by Bittersweet. That would
Yes,
be this one, everyone. Blinded by Bittersweet Symphony. This is again something that you can purchase off Amazon.com.
yes.
And it has a picture of you in the back.
It
Love it.
does. Thank you.
I love it. I'm going to read, if with your permission, a little bit of the back of the book so that everyone gets a little bit of an idea. It's a book about says about the book. In this book, you'll experience a lot of heartache and pain, trials and tribulations, love and loss, things that one woman should never have to endure, but has had to had to do over and over. If I can read. She has been used to the fullest time and time again. No remorse from the other people who've hurt her. It was it It's what has made her endure and become stronger. She has no one, she's had no one come in to save her but herself. She came out on the other end, a woman on a mission to let others know they aren't alone and they can go on. A heart can be broken on purpose, but you can learn to push past everything and make it to a clearing on the other side. Ball up a piece of paper and then flatten it out. All those lines are scars from wounds that people have made. The scars will never go away, they will remain. Those fine lines are the first to be torn. Don't ever think that words don't hurt, because they do, and they last a lifetime. They affect someone's soul forever, and the person who hurt you, can expect you to get over it. can't expect you to get over it. Now, about the author, Lizzie loves writing and can be found working on scripts, novels, or even comic books. In her spare time, she loves riding around town looking at the scenery for a new idea for either poems or inspiration to add to one of her many books she is working on. She also loves cooking and having her friends come over to share a meal and relax in a comfy type home atmosphere. She loves cracking jokes. She loves dancing, even though she isn't always good at it. She wants to have a larger family that she's always dreamed of having. So this Blinded by Bittersweet Symphony, is this inspired by true events?
Yes.
Ooh. Ooh.
Yes, it is. All my books are inspired by true events. My poetry books and my novel.
Writers usually get their inspiration from things that they've experienced. I think that's what makes a really good writer is you have to write about what you know. You're not going to write about something just like made up. You got to know at least something about it.
Right.
And your other books.
I have Lost in Emotion and Concussion Symptoms of Poetry.
So here is Lost in Emotion.
Yes.
And once again, your picture is on the back.
Yes.
This is what it looks like. Also, you can purchase this on Amazon.com. Surrendering Lost in Emotion. Up at the top. Surrendering Lost in Emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to a world of emotions captured in poetry that deals with the depths of pain, lies, loss, bitterness, betrayal, manipulations, cheaters, relationships, and so much more. The writer takes you through the depths of things she's witnessed and gone through herself. Each poem comes from a deep place from within. She wants the readers to see things from the eye of the beholder of these traumatic events. In each poem written, the writer wants you to try and taste the bittersweet ending or beginning to what she has seen from the world around her. The writer has written other poetry of trials and tribulations that have evolved around situations that were considered bestseller writings from the words and ways each poem was constructed. These poems can also take the reader to see what is seen through the eyes of the writer. She lays it all out there in a genius way to make sense. Draw from these poems what you will. Delve into depths unseen by many, seen by none. Let her take you to a place that will leave your mind unclear of what should be common feelings and emotions. Surrendering yourself to the unknown, unseen, unspoken, forgotten, and denied. Leave your heart and soul vulnerable while getting lost in emotion. Now, is this another one that is reader's discretion?
Yes, all my work is reader's discretion advised.
All your work is reader's discretion, including this last piece, which is concussion.
Yes.
Now, is this a follow-up of this book?
No, it's its own separate piece.
It's its own separate piece.
Yes.
It looks like these two kind of complement each other here.
Kinda, but not really.
It's like the poetry of this book, you know? It's kind of like supports it. And then once again, your picture on the back. I think it's a lovely touch, and I really love the artwork and the concept. Now, were you the person who decided to design the artwork of the covers?
So I usually go to Fiverr, and I have somebody that does the work for me. And she's done all my books. She's fantastic. She lets me pick out the cover that I want, and we just make it work together.
Awesome. We have Chicago God leaving us some comment, some love. If anybody who doesn't know who he is, I want to give a shout out to him. He is a rap artist, and he is a wonderful I mean, to be an artist like this, you have to be a poet also. So I'm pretty sure that he can kind of understand some of the things that you're talking about.
Hey, Chicago God.
Yes, that is yes. Or I also call him Godson, but that his
Okay.
artist name is Chicago God.
Okay.
Thank you so much for signing all my books. I am a fan. I really want this because I'm a big supporter of your work, and I
Thank
really
you.
hope that everyone goes out and gets themselves a copy of each one of these books available. Okay, the first poetry book written by you, Blinded by Bittersweet Symphony. The
Yes.
second one, Lost in Emotion,
Yes.
and the third, Concussion,
Yes.
as well as your first novel, Beautifully Unkept Girl. I am
Yes.
excited to see the next one because, okay, because I mean, I also have some questions about some of the stuff that's in here, but I'm going to keep it as confidential as I can. So here we go.
Okay.
Question number one. In relationships, because a lot of
Yes.
these days, a lot of people want to talk about relationships. They want to find out either information on how they can start a new one that's more fulfilling and not have as many problems as the last one that they had.
Right.
So, oh, which brings me to another thing. As a writer who is
Yeah.
also, from what I understand, you are a relationship counselor.
I am a relationship counselor. You are correct.
Is there were you putting any of your advice in your previous work, or is that something that you plan to do?
It's something that I plan to do. Right now, I am writing on what I know, what I've been through, what I'm still going through. Um, as you know, writers like, for example, Gwen Stefani,
Mhm.
she writes what she feels, what she knows, what problems she's been through. Same thing I
Mhm.
do. I write it. Now people may not agree with me. They may get upset with me because I'm writing on something that they want me to keep quiet, and that's not working for me. I write what I know, and I write the truth. So you either like it or you don't.
And isn't it? It's a sort of therapy, isn't it? When you write, it's like therapy. It's like
Yeah, it
healing.
helps. It helps. Sometimes it makes me um a bit angry to know everything I've been through and to kind of see all the things I've been through, and no one in return was there for me. And I had to fight through everything by myself, and I'm being accused of stuff that I never did. So, writing in a way is therapy, but it helps me see from a different perspective who's actually there for me and who's just playing games with me.
So it's also helping you to put things in perspective.
Yes.
Okay, that's good. It's that something that normally, you would probably advise other people to keep like a journal so they can
Yes.
write in it. And
I
who
I
knows?
I suggest a daily journal, right? Uh, good things or bad things. If someone said something to write both sides, but be honest about what you've said, not just I said nothing and this person just went off and said. You have to be honest in order for journaling to work. You need to know
Right.
what happened.
You look gorgeous, by the way.
Oh, thank
I
you.
must say,
Thank
I
you.
love the way you look. You look so shiny and beautiful.
Okay.
Um, have you ever been in a situation, or maybe know someone who's been in a situation where they were dating someone who was, no longer in a marriage? They have kids. I know a few people like this. My older sibling actually, and it was very hard for him to get close to this woman because she was in no, well, not Texas. I'm sorry, Vegas, and he's from New Jersey at the time when we was living in New Jersey. And the question is coming. It's a full circle thing
Okay.
where the children, of course, they use that same line, you're not my daddy, I don't need to listen to you. And these were teenagers. They were, at least one was probably around 12, 13 years old. The other one was like 16, 17 years of age. So it was I advised my older sibling, listen, don't I don't think you want that headache. Don't get involved with that right now because of the just the timing. But there are some times where, like, as the years go on, like, we find ourselves in a situation where you meet someone, um, he or she is divorced, and they have their children are all grown up. So I'm not so sure why, but I'm not so sure why it would be difficult. But maybe you can help me fill in the gaps, and maybe this is something that you might end up writing about. Who knows? About couples, whether both have children and they're all grown up, or one does, because some people have no kids, and then they get involved with someone who has children, but their children they're older. They're married, they have their own lives, and somehow they still don't want their parent to get involved in another relationship. And let's say, the other parent died or passed away, by either accident or design, or maybe it was just a divorce. And there are some people who are divorced, but they're not in paper divorce. They're living divorce, but they're not in paper divorce. I've seen and heard so many examples of this lots of times, and especially, not giving away, because, as clients, as a relationship counselor myself, there's just so many people out there that don't know what to do with this. Now, my question to you, because I wanted it to come full circle, I wanted to give you the whole rundown so that you have a clear picture of what the question is.
Okay.
What would you do if, say, you get involved with a man who has children and they're all grown up, and they don't want their father to get involved in a relationship? They would prefer their father to just, whether their mother passed away or whether they are divorced, she's moved on, and they don't want him to, I'm saying, like, because that does happen so many times. My question is, what do you do with that? How?
Well, it,
Well,
it could it could be it also, you could think of it as if it happened to the woman as well, not just a male situation. It could be, a female situation too,
well, that's
having
what
the
I mean.
right. So
Because I've been there. I've been there.
right. Um, my thing is, if whether you're trying to date a man or you're trying to date the woman, and you're letting your children dictate your happiness, um, I think if you can't love somebody enough to do what you need to do to show them that you love them, then you never loved them to begin with. Because guess what? Family is family. Either I mean, I can understand it if, say, like, the husband or wife beat somebody up and God forbid killed them, or something extreme where they're like,
Right,
no,
like
mom,
domestic
dad, I
violence.
don't, right, where I don't want you dating. I totally get that. But if it's for selfish means, I don't care what race, religion, whatever it is that you're in, you should not play games with somebody else's life because you're waiting for your child or children to accept the new man or woman that comes into your life.
Right.
Because let me tell you, you wouldn't want, I'll use myself for an example. I wouldn't want my child to grow up thinking that, okay, when she has kids, now I've made it acceptable where I'm letting my child dictate to me my happiness, So when she has a kid, her child can dictate her happiness to her if she messes up. There's something wrong with that picture. And I don't know that I could continuously stay in a relationship like that as much as I love the person. And I think even as a man or a woman would want to stay in a relationship like that, period. If this is how they're going to be treated, if they want to use, well, I have to because my children don't like you. They're not going to know they like the person if they don't have the opportunity.
Right. It can be hard.
Right. Well, and it's not like if someone's coming into a man and woman's life, it's not that they're trying to replace that parent that's not in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to be happy with this
Right.
with the person that they want to be with. So if they want to act like they've given birth to the parent, there's an issue there. And I don't know if I could, as much as I would love the person, I don't know that I could stay like that because I was in a past relationship and it had nothing to do with um the spouse having somebody else. It was the spouse letting his siblings and other family members dictate what my happiness was to be and what it wasn't to be. So I can't live my life like that anymore. I need to be happy and I need it fulfilled, and I don't need stipulations put on when I can be happy, how I can be happy, who I can be happy with. Today I can be happy, tomorrow I can't. I'm going to be upset with you today, but maybe not tomorrow, as long as you do what I want.
Mm,
I can't play those games with people, and nobody should have to play those mental games.
right. Right. I agree with you.
It's just a
And
mental game. That's all it
it,
is.
it's, I think that there's a lot of times, when we read certain novels like the ones that you have written, it does take us back some, and it gives us something to think about within ourselves, like what kind of relationship we are looking for.
Right.
And with that said, I just want to give a quick shout out to Miss Bernadette. How you
Hi,
doing?
Bernadette.
Thank you for tuning into the show. If you've missed it, we have Lizzie Smith here. She's a writer, actress, poet, relationship counselor,
Yes.
and I'm looking forward to seeing some of your work actually put in films. I think that the books are just a start.
Well, if you notice, if you read my beautifully unkept book,
Yes.
um, part of that had to do with past relationships that I've been in, and it
Wow,
it's
it's
sort of
so
fiction,
crazy.
nonfiction,
Right.
but it it kind of describes why the character, almost like, how do I describe it? If the roles were reversed in 50 Shades of Grey, but this describes why my character became who she became. And it was because of being used, being mistreated, no one caring how she felt. They only cared about themselves. So she wanted to become what they were. She wanted to know, if they can do it, why can't I do it? But she
Right.
played the game better. She was the queen of the chessboard. She got rid of the king, she got rid of the pawn, she got rid of the knight, she got rid of everybody. And she
Right.
ruled.
To survive too.
Yes,
It is definitely a way to survive. I
right.
mean, you
No
can
one
only put
understands.
in so much.
Right, and nobody understands the mental strain and the effects it has on a woman to survive. Everybody assumes you got to get over it. You just get over it. That's why I have lost in emotion, because I was told I was too emotional. So I let myself get lost in emotion and express how I felt.
It's crazy when someone says that you're too emotional. Haven't they ever seen the film called A Walk in the Clouds? I love how the grandfather he says, "Women are creatures of the heart."
Right.
I love that.
We came from the man's ribs, not from under his feet.
Right.
So concussion also came from what I went through mentally, and no one cared about my mental state of being. So all my books actually have a meaning behind them. Blinded by Bittersweet Symphony was the mask that my ex wore in front of people. So it was like he was one way in front of other people. I never got to see that side of him. And he
Mm-hmm.
was one way with me, and nobody else got to see that side of him. So
Mm.
that's why there's a mask on the cover of the book. So all my books have meaning behind them. That's why there's different covers on the books.
And don't you have jewelry?
I do have jewelry.
Ah, I would love to see some of your jewelry. I'm hoping that you can like tease us with a little bit of your jewelry,
If it'll
like a
show up, I
bracelet.
don't know if it'll show up, but let's see.
That's fine. Take your time. And thank you again, everybody, for coming to the show. I am so happy to see you, and thank you for tuning in. Miss Bernadette, she said you have a good point.
All right, so
You have a good point. So I
let's
guess
see
that means
if
you have a
it,
good point.
I don't know if it'll show. It's not going to show up that well.
Well, I can just put it right in front of your face.
Here, let's see if this one will show.
Not in front of your face. Right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. There you go. There you
Yep.
go. I can see it. Now, what's on there, though?
These are like little Hindi hands.
So if you hold it up like this, you might be able to see it.
Nope.
No.
No.
Oh,
Oh,
it's in the light. It's all in the light. There you go. It's all in the light. There you go.
it's
But I
orange.
really like the ones with the mask on them.
Oh, I have there somewhere, and then I have the center of my world. Uh, there we
The
go.
center of my world. How beautiful.
If they'll show up, there we go. A little bit, but there's
Now,
rings.
yeah, I mean, I will definitely love to advertise some more of your jewelry and your work. Next time I interview you and um put some more. Because right now, I just really want everybody to understand you as a person and as an artist, because that way they can connect better as viewers, listeners, supporters of your work.
Right.
Um, how long have you been writing?
I have been writing since I was about 11 years old, and that's when I lived in Michigan. And some of my poetries won in poetry contests and were put in the National Library of Congress books.
You hear that, everyone? I'm so proud of you. Congratulations to you and all your endeavors and all your works that you are just getting started on. As an
Thank you.
actress, do you find it easy to learn your lines?
Sometimes I do, and sometimes I don't, and sometimes it depends on the directors, honestly. If they've never worked with the little person, they'll say, well, I don't know what to tell you to do. Try it this way. But what they want you to try is what an average person could do, but not what a little person can physically do. So as hard as I do my best. That's all I can do is do my best. Um,
I agree.
when it comes to
That's really
acting.
all anybody can do is do your best. Put your foot in it.
Right.
Ms. Bernadette wants to know what part of Michigan, because as you know, or if you don't know, anybody who doesn't know, Ms. Bernadette is an actress herself. We have an actress tuning in. She's a director, particularly a film director, and she's a prop master. I mean, this one also writes, and she's amazing. And I look forward to interviewing her later. She has a question. She's also a Michigander, and she wants to know what part of Michigan you're from.
I'm from Jackson. If you hold up your hand, kind of like right there in Michigan, and you
Let's
can't
see
really
the
see it. There you go.
cute.
Right in
Look
there.
at the
It's
hand. Look
Michigan.
at the hair. Cool, man.
Yep,
Oh.
it's
Listen, I'm
Michigan.
on my live and you're doing this to me.
Yeah.
I'm on my live and I'm doing the coochie coochie coos. I can't help it. This woman is so freaking adorable. I don't understand how anyone could not just fall in love with her. She is amazing. I love her so much. And you so gifted. Now I know you know what I'm talking about. You gifted, not just in the pan, not just in the pan, but you gifted someplace that have mercy, Lord. God bless you. The Lord has blessed you.
Yes,
He
he
has
has.
blessed you. So the man who wins you over, it's like he's won treasure. He has won a place in the Bible.
Yes. Yes. Yep.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Bernadette mentions how that it Jackson right by Ann Arbor.
Yes.
I think that it is very good that it gives people, we have a chance for people to ask you questions and find out more about you, Miss
Right.
Lizzie. Um, uh, this is just the start of things. You already know that I look forward to continue to interview you. Um, I was always told that sometimes people can only be interviewed once, and that's not true. So for anybody who is not aware that you can interview more than one time, guess what? Flawless Dreams Radio will interview this woman as many times as it takes because she's always doing something new. You're always doing something. You have your jewelry, you're an actress, you're a writer, you're a poet. If I'm not mistaken, aren't you working on some lyrics for a song?
I actually am working on lyrics. Actually, I finished the lyrics to the song, and I'm working on another song.
Oh, oh, don't hold out on us now. No, 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 no. You better come through, girl. Come through.
Oh
What
no!
style
When
of
it comes
song is
out,
this?
when
It's
it's
like
completed, then we
I can't
maybe
wait to
we can
oh,
play
oh, oh, oh,
some.
oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. I can't. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait, but I'm gonna assure everybody that tune into Flawless Dreams Radio because I will have the scoop. I will make
You
sure
will.
that her material is played on here.
You will be the first to have the scoop on the music when
You
it's
will be the
complete.
first, everybody. I hope you paying attention. Pay attention.
I said the first. She'll be the first.
Pay
I
attention
did
because I
say that.
said so. That's
That's right.
right.
That's right.
Okay, so then a question
Yes.
before, because we're not taking any breaks today. I just really want to keep it going
Okay.
because we're on a roll. I mean, we're covering lots of ground. We already covered your books. Again,
Yeah.
if anybody was just tuning in and you didn't get a chance to hear where you can purchase Miss Lizzie's books, you can find them on Amazon.com. Her novels, she's got, let me get the count right. Three of them. No, one novel, three poetries, three books of poetry. Ha ha ha.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
And you can find the short edition on Amazon, which is a comic book. My first comic book.
Your first comic book, The Short Audition, which is based on true events, isn't it?
It is based on true event. I turned it into satirical. And if you go to the Shrew 2020 on Facebook, you can watch the trailer videos to there. There's several. And if you message me on there with your information, I can autograph your book for you if you want Shrew 1 or and 2. I
Yes,
write two books,
please.
and I can sign them and mail them to you.
Yes, please, everybody, be sure to purchase your copy of one of her lovely writings and works of art. It truly is a work of art. You've also appeared, if I'm not mistaken, in the first Flawless Dreams magazine, and you are on the front cover. Well,
I
God
am.
bless you for everything that you have accomplished thus far. And you're only going to keep giving us more. I can't wait to see the jewelry line. I can't wait to hear this song that you've been working on. Oh my God, you got to keep me in like up to date because I got to be the first one to show everybody.
And you will be the first.
Yes, yes. So, do you have any other messages that you want to say to people who are in a relationship and they can't seem to find themselves a chance to get like some air, and they need to write about their troubles, trials, and tribulations, just like what you did to survive your situations?
Um, if you find you're at the point where if you write about it and your significant other decides they want to read your stuff and then have issue with what you write, try counseling. If counseling doesn't work, you're not meant for that person. If they can't understand what they're causing to happen to you, and they're only focused on on themselves, well, I wouldn't have done that if you didn't do XYZ. There shouldn't be none of that. If
No
you
one.
truly right. So if you truly love the person, you'd be willing to try to understand. There'd be compromise on both ends, not just a one-sided um relationship or feeling about it.
Yeah, because it
Um
takes time.
right. And it's not like, most people say, oh, I do 50, it's 50-50 in a relationship. Actually,
Right.
it's 100-100 in a relationship. You have to give 100%, so does the other person. And how
Correct.
I've done this is, and people seem to understand this better, is imagine you and your partner have a box in front of each other. They fill your box that's in front of you with their needs. You fill their box with what you need. So when you need each other, you can pull from that box, your partner can, and give you what you need. But you can't have a partner that's going to take everything out of your box and stick it in their box, and then when you need something, there's nothing to give you because they've taken it.
Right. It's just so, like, don't want to be stuck in a situation where the person just takes and takes from you
Right,
and you get nothing back.
right. And I don't
That's
I
not
don't want to be in a relationship like that um anymore with anybody. I want it to be mutual. I want respect from the other party, as well as me continually respecting. In my last relationship, I respected the other party. The other party admitted that he respected me, but would tell other people he didn't respect me. So I guess it just depends on who you talk to. I don't know. So,
Yeah, everybody's gonna get multiple versions. It's I guess, if someone cares, then they'll listen to all perspectives and all sides of everyone's story. It depends, because
right,
if you're fully aware that somebody is manipulative type of person and they're just going to shroud every bit of information, if you already have like full inclination of that, there's no point in asking them when you already know.
right.
Because and you go by your research.
Well,
you
past
know
behavior predicts future behavior.
True.
And through other means of counseling, I have been told that other past behavior, a person will know how a person will become in the future by knowing how they were in the past. If it's a continual, it's the same old spiel every 5 minutes. You can predict that they're going to do the same thing. They don't have to be in your presence for you to know they're going to do the same thing over and over.
Right. It's a pattern of their character,
Exactly.
and the character that they've put in action. Now, I apologize if there's a lag for everybody. Sometimes this again happens when you're streaming straight to YouTube, but I appreciate everybody's patience, who's tuning in. Thank you to Godson, and thank you to Bernadette.
Thank
If there's
you.
any other questions that you want to ask Miss Lizzie, shoot them in the comment section below and I will ask her for you. So, I do have another question, if you don't mind me asking,
Sure.
about, is it possible that when writing a book, that some people always assume that things are about them.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
And I kind of find it funny, but I guess if the shoe fits Cinderella, wear it well. Um,
Right. I've experienced that as writing my music. I'll write a song and somebody's like, "Is that about me?" I'm like, and maybe you can help me with this, explain this to, anybody who wants to be a writer, anybody who is a writer, or just everybody in general. When you write, yes, when I write about things, yes, that I know, but I like to kind of there's a lot on my mind at once, and I like to get it all down. And sometimes I'll have a song where I have one song, but that one opportunity to get a bunch of other things from other areas of my, let's say it's a love song, and I'll have other areas of my love life where I sort of just use all those elements and it creates this one song. So verse 1 may talk about how, the start of the relationship, while verse 2 goes into the continuance of the relationship. And then the hook kind of talks about in general, the feelings of love, of the relationship. I mean, I've experienced people saying, "Oh, this song is just about me." No, 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 no. I have a hard time just making it about one person. Even when I purposely want to, I have a hard time doing that because I have so many things on my mind that I want to get down on paper, that I want to release. So, do you do the same thing?
for me, so oddly, sometimes I can look outside or just look around, and I see sometimes couples arguing or talking, and I don't know what they're talking about. And it starts like poetry going in my head or musical notes going in my head, where I kind of write what I think is happening. It may not be what's happening, but then I'll
Right.
have people say, "Oh, you wrote about me." No, technically, I wrote about what I said.
I would write about this person over here, but that's okay. I mean, if again, it's like if the shoes fit Cinderella, wear it. It's again, it's
Exactly.
one of those things. But
Right.
that's the thing. We write about things that other people could probably relate to. That I mean, so
Right.
of course they're gonna say, "Oh, you wrote about me," but like, if you relate to it, that's a good thing. It's not a bad
Right.
thing.
Right. And if I write about somebody, it doesn't mean that I don't like the person. It could mean that, you know what, I find them special enough where I can dedicate a certain poem, if it's talking about my feelings and emotions and how I want love and life to continue with that person. Feel honored that at least I wrote about you, I thought about you. Now if I dedicate to you that says something about I hate your guts, well then there, that's a different spectrum.
I
But
don't want to be on that side. I don't want to do that. I don't mean on that. No,
no.
but I would like you to give a nice shout out to everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much. We're gonna close out for and save some more for later because I don't want to give all of Miss Lizzie's secrets away. Only giving you all like about an hour, just about, of some of her information. So again, just let everybody know where they can find some of your work.
Well, thank you
Amazon.com.
all for coming and watching the show. I so appreciate it. Thank you, Lily the Goddess, for allowing me to come be interviewed. If you'd like my material, if you want to see any poetry, my novels, short edition, go to Amazon.com. Or if you want to buy the Shrew comics, chapter 1 and chapter 2, or book 1, book 2, go to Facebook, the Shrew 2020, and I can send them out to you, autograph them, mail them. You'll get your copy.
That sounds great. All right. Thank you, everybody. This is your girl, Lily. And thank you so much, Miss Lizzie. Love you. And we will
Love you.
see you later, Lizzie. Thank you, everybody, again for tuning in to Flawless Dreams Radio. I'll see you next time.